Pelagius was a Visigothic nobleman who founded the Kingdom of Asturias, ruling it from 718 until his death. Through his victory at the Battle of Covadonga, he is credited with beginning the Reconquista, the Christian reconquest of the Iberian peninsula from the Moors. He established an independent Christian state in opposition to Moorish hegemony. The chief sources for Pelagius's life and career are two Latin chronicles written in the late 9th century in the kingdom he founded. The first is the Chronicle written at Albelda towards 881, and preserved in the Codex Vigilanus, with a continuation to 976. The latter is the Chronicle of Alfonso III, which was revised in the early 10th century and preserved in two textual traditions that diverge in several key passages: the Chronica Rotensis, preserved in the Rhoda Codex, and the Chronica ad Sebastianum, supposedly written by Sebastian, Bishop of Salamanca. The only likely earlier written sources from which these chroniclers could derive information are regional lists. Pelagius was a Visigoth nobleman, the son of Fafila. The Chronica Albeldensis says that this Fafila was a dux of Gallaecia, who was killed by Witiza. The Chronicle of Alfonso III identifies Pelagius as a grandson of Chindasuanthe and says that his father was blinded in Córdoba, at the instigation of Witiza. Witiza is also said to have exiled Pelagius from Toledo upon assuming the crown in 702. In the opinion of Collins, all of this is a late tradition. According to the later tradition, Munuza, the Berber governor of Igione, became attracted to Pelagius's sister and sent word to Tariq ibn Ziyad, who ordered him to capture Pelagius and send him to Córdoba. If Munuza's seat is identified with Guijon, it may be inferred that the Arabs had established the rule in the Asturias and that Pelagius was not the leader of a local resistance to Arab conquest. Pelagius may have come to terms with the Arab elite whereby he was permitted to govern locally in the manner of the previous Visigoths, as is known to have occurred between Arab rulers and Visigothic noblemen elsewhere, as in the case of Theodima. This is considered by most historians to be unlikely. At some point Pelagius is said to have rebelled, but for what reasons is unknown. Such rebellions by local authorities against the superiors formed a common theme in Visigothic Spain. A Muslim army was sent against him under the command of Alcama and the Christian Bishop of Seville, Oppa. That Alcama was the general and that there was a Bishop of Seville named Oppa among his ranks is generally accepted. A battle was fought near Covadonga in which Alcama was killed and Oppa captured. Moorish chronicles of the event describe Pelagius and his small force as 30 wild donkeys, as reported by al-Makari in the 17th century. The battle is usually dated to 718 or 719, between the governorships of Alher and Azsham, though some have dated it as late as 722 and the Chronica Albeldensia dates it in the 740s. After his election as princeps of the Asturians by the local magnates in the Visigothic manner, Pelagius made his capital at Cangas. The Chronica Rotensis says about this election, his kingdom, firstly centered on the eastern Asturias, soon grew. He married his daughter Ermesinda to the future King Alfonso I, son of Pelagius's eastern neighbor, Duke Peter of Cantabria. Pelagius reigned for 18 or 19 years until his death in 737, when he was succeeded by his son Fafila. He was buried in the church of Santa Eulalia de Abamia, located in the surroundings of the village of Correo, near Cangas. His remains were transferred by King Alfonso X of Castile to the Holy Cave of Covadonga, as were those of his wife Gaudiosa and his sister. He left, in addition to his son and successor Fafila, a daughter, Ermesinda, who was to become progenitrix, along with King Alfonso I of Asturias, of the later royalty of Asturias.